Do you understand the magnitude of evil, sir?
Yes, sir, I do. That's why I'm going to be there with you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Obviously, it was rhetorical. Finish the rest of your story. So you actually asked them, why are you flying around on airplanes dressed up like cops?
No, they were pretty nervous about my Sony Z1U. You know, that's a pretty large video camera. And I think they were holding back just a little bit. I didn't want to ask too many questions. I let the people that were with me on the tour ask the questions. This was during the Joint Services Open House Air Show at Andrews Air Force Base 2 weekends ago.
Well, you can't have an enemy. Well, they work for the foreign bankers now. You're a designated enemy. You're not allowed to ask questions. I mean, of course you're an enemy.
I was there to gather intelligence and sneak away.
Well, tell us what else you saw at the loving little predators.
They didn't have any predators there. They had one of their 4-engine, 1,000-horsepower, go-fast 40-foot boats there. They had a UH-1 Huey helicopter, black, beautiful, man. I mean, this thing was black.
But those don't exist, sir. Those do not exist. They admit now they've got UN troops training in America in the different FEMA drills like NLE-09, but they still don't exist, sir. When you drive up to a checkpoint with TSA about to grope your family, doesn't exist. Because that doesn't happen in a free country.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see that all the people that didn't look like they were really from America were all sitting in this aircraft getting their pictures taken. And I'm thinking that with the emblems on the side of it and everything, they're telling their friends to come on, man. You know, they're not going to do anything to us. That was the impression I got from, all these people that were around these aircraft posing on the steps.
Well, none dare call it treason, but when it is treason, none do call it that, because when treason prevails, it is treason to fight treason. But, I mean, it's all over the news. They're training dozens of foreign governments to take on the American people. I mean, we are an I-4 open zone. We are the enemy. We fund the global empire, then we take the blame, then we're enslaved and domestically occupied. That is the public plan. And if they've got to pay $22 billion to move General Motors to China, they do it. I mean, it is just selling us out one way and the other. God bless you, sir. Anything else you'd like to add?
I'll see you on Thursday. I'll have on a UCI baseball cap and a Tyranny Response Team T-shirt, toting a big old camera. One thing I'd like to offer that you should do before you leave Virginia is go to Jefferson's house.
I would love to go to Jefferson's house. You know, I've been to the Hermitage in Nashville when I was a child, but if we would have had time in Nashville, exercise took precedent for an hour and a half. We went on a 7-mile hike, or let's be technical, 6.5-mile hike, and didn't have time to go to the Hermitage, but somebody would like to see that as well. God bless you. But again, that's Thomas Jefferson that I have FEMA on video teaching police was a terrorist. It's just like, there's the bad guy teaching you Thomas Jefferson's bad. I mean, it's like a no-brainer. I mean, it happened, folks. We got taken over by foreign banks. They've got our military. They're turning it inward on us. The military's waking up, but in a way it doesn't matter because it's all going drone. And then they've got on small rivers, they've got machine gun boats driving around now, pulling people over that are bass fishing. This is in the news where people in the heartland, you name it, not even on the border, I'll be sitting there fishing and a big old jet boat pulls up with guys in SWAT uniforms with MP5s and mounted machine guns because everybody wants to be James Bond. But he's not fighting, the evil guy from Moonraker when he's driving around in his jet boat in Brazil. They just pull up and you're the enemy. And it's like they're warriors. You and your wife and kids are the enemy. And you're just looking at them and it's like, it's so sad. It's just, and of course their whole future is about to be destroyed as well. But they think defending the system is patriotism. The system is a foreign bank occupation system. Oh boy. Again, our video going mega viral right now. Drones shot down over Texas. Check it out. Infowars.com right now. Let's go ahead now and go to the next caller. Who's up next? Michael in Oklahoma, and then Jerry, Colin, and others. Go ahead, Michael.
Alex Jones.
Welcome, my friend. Yes, I can.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
I'm a first-time caller, 3-year listener. I have a question about a vaccine. I have a 13-year-old daughter, and they said before she gets into 7th grade, she has to take a DTaP vaccine. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, and they're total liars. There is no law anywhere that you have to take shots to go to university or to go anywhere. There's even waivers if you're a foreigner and want to come here without taking them, but they don't tell anybody about them, and they engage in psychological warfare and deception because you are their enemy. Now, the jellyfish at the school isn't. They just follow orders. It's a conduit of command and control. You ever wondered why they'll card an 80-year-old man on a walker for cigarettes or beer? We've all seen it because the clerk isn't allowed to make their own determination. So see, it's all about command and control. Teleprompters are loaded federally. All the news repeats it. You go in to get in school. They lie and say it's the law. And they tell them, don't tell you, by law, they've got to give you the waiver. Do you understand?
So I would ask for a waiver.
Yes, they have religious exemptions, conscientious exemptions, medical reasons. You can always find an anti-vaccine. Just find non-vaccinating doctor your area. And even if they try to deny those, you've always got a medical exemption.
I understand.
Because they're totally connected to all these allergies and asthma. So you just have a doctor say that. Even if they keep trying to lie. Now, they have you sign on with the health department that you agree this is bad. I don't even do that. And they send me letters. My children aren't in school, but they know that I have children, and I send letters back telling them go to, where.
Right, I understand.
I go, listen, criminals, I know it's not the law, and you're told to do this. You're despicable, so drink some fluoride. Sorry, go ahead. I mean, it's time to let them know we know they're crooks. And everybody that serves them are crooks. I'm serious, man. Somebody trying to lie to me to shoot my kids up and brain damage them. Right. And because it's all done through a government process, their assault on me when I have all the documents, I'm supposed to think it's okay. They're murdering us. They're murdering us. And let me tell you, 15% dropout and unenrollment increase at the biggest, one of the biggest college systems in the country in Austin. Because the people will not take the shots. They're lying and telling them it's the law, so they're just getting out of that stupid college. You understand that, sir? People are done. They're awake. The chain reaction already started. The dominoes are already rolling. Sorry, go ahead.
I have one other question, too. I went to a gun show not too long ago here in Tulsa, and I went to buy a pistol, and I was denied. I've never been arrested. I've only had 2 tickets in my life. And I asked them, well, what can I do? And they said, there's a phone number for the FBI that I was supposed to call. Never been arrested.
No, sir. Most veterans now, I mean, it's most of them I talk to. No criminal record. And even now, suddenly, police officers that are veterans go to buy a gun. It's not a mistake. They say, remember when you had heat exhaustion in Vietnam or you had heat exhaustion in Desert Storm? We've now gone back in your chart and said it was post-traumatic stress. Your Second Amendment's over. And it's happening everywhere. Then they'll do selective waivers for police. But Clinton did that the year he left. 87,000 troops suddenly, veterans, had their Second Amendment taken. They have no gun buy list now. No judge, no jury, no nothing, no conviction, never in jail. Your guns are gone. And in Illinois, they send the state police out to get your guns once they put you on the list. I mean, it's just lawless crooks. But I'm sorry to hear that happen to you. Call the FBI up, and sometimes it's a mistake. Your name's similar to somebody else's, but usually it's just all part of their criminal network. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Riders on the storm.
Oh, we're riding the storm, the coming of the New World Order and the foretold resistance of it. All right, that last caller, it makes my blood boil. He goes to buy a handgun at the gun show. He goes through a regular licensed federal firearms dealer, and they call the FBI instant check. You get the Brady bill thrown out because they were making you have waiting periods. They find it unconstitutional. So the feds just say, okay, we'll just do an instant check and then refuse you if we want. No judge, no jury. And then they started waiting a week or two. There were lawsuits. They said, okay, we'll make it instant again. It's not instant anymore. Sometimes you have to wait weeks. Or they just deny you. And you call the FBI and they go, well, fill out a form. Maybe we'll do something. It's like the no-fly list. And now we learn the FBI puts people on a no-fly list and then comes to them a month later, says, yeah, your business is ruined. Become an informant for us at the bank or wherever. Start working for us for free, of course, as a slave, and we'll let you fly again. And pretty soon it's going to be every job, traveling, having a car. This is what the technocracy is about. And it's just horrible. I mean, does anyone really want to live in this world? But they get a bunch of people under peer pressure to work for the government who incrementally will do whatever they're told. So we got to cut the money off. We got to shrink the size of this thing. 30,000 drones to surveil us, but the borders are wide open. Okay, up first here. I want to move quick now because I got a bunch of news coming up in the next segment, then we'll continue with calls. Jerry in Ohio, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hello, Mr. Alex Jones.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, it's a privilege to talk to you. I really thank you for your courage. Getting people to wake up out there and to see what's going on. They're just living in this matrix. You try to talk to them, you try to tell them what's going on, and it's just like all they care about is sports, entertainment. They're just zoned out.
Well, I mean, look, TV is the prime mover. It's the ether in which the zombies swim. TV is the ether in which the zombies swim. And they swim like dead anchors on the bottom of the deep blue sea. It's our job to not be mad at them. These are mindless victims who are in a trance. You know, literally, most of the public who you can't talk to now as that glazed look, they are in a near sleep walking phase. I was so tired last night. Richard's in here in the bed next to me, and he said, yeah, we got to bed about 2:30, and about 4, I heard you get up and go and open the door. And I don't really sleepwalk, but if I get really, really tired and I hear something, I'll just get up. In fact, if I really hear something, I'll get up and look out. But the point, in fact, I'm like, Richard, do you think we'll get you your own room and we won't save money? Because it's probably not good for you to even be in here. And, you know, I wouldn't call it night terrors, but every once in a while, if I'm really tired, I get up really angry. And, but to make a long story short, people are in a trance, kind of like I was last night at 4 a.m. when I heard a noise and jumped out of bed. Go ahead.
Yeah, the New World Order, they're alive and well in northeast Ohio. They're going in these smaller towns outside of the cities. You know, you got Cleveland, Youngstown, Akron, Canton, some of these small towns right outside of these cities. They're going in and they're making huge 4-lane roads into these towns. They're putting up all these extra tall poles and putting cameras all over them. And anyway, they're cutting back the trees from the creeks, bridges, these rest stops. They're cutting down all the trees around them. They want to be able to look down with their surveillance, you know.
No, they admit that. In fact, I've seen articles, that sounds crazy, but it's true, where it was like 6-7 years ago, where they were clearing areas at national parks and testing little cable systems where the robots with cameras buzz along the cable and watch people, and Austin's putting them up in parks and area to make sure you're not dumping trash. And they're securing police stations, cutting trees back, putting barbed wire fences up, just like they did a lot of military bases that had been open bases like Camp Mabry in Austin after 9/11. And they're telling them, you've heard the cops call in. And I go, do they teach you that veterans will attack your department with IEDs? And they go, yes, we're taught that. So they're teaching them there's going to be a war. Yeah, because they're going to have the police and military come out and start it with the American people. Is that not crazy?
And also in Ravenna, Ohio, there's a National Guard armory up there, and within the last